Well, North and South Korea communicating ahead of the Olympics the next month. Laura Luhrmann, a political science professor from Wright State University, she joins me this morning to talk about these actual talks because they're important. And I know that last week they met for the first time in 2 years. They were supposed to meet yesterday. It was canceled. Now it's rescheduled for what would be Wednesday, which is actually tonight for us.
Right.
Why? You kind of mentioned something before when we were in the break. Why was it important you said North Korea is sort of in control when it comes to these talks?
North Korea right now recognizes that South Korea, these games that are going to take place and opening on February 9th are very important to South Korea. And North Korea recognizes that, and they're going to try to extract anything they can from this. So they canceled the talks yesterday, saying they first wanted to negotiate about the art troupe. There's going to be a 140-member orchestra that's going to be performing. So there was that discussion, but they weren't high-level talks. And they said, well, after we did that, then maybe we can meet and have further discussion about the Olympic Games. They don't want it to go beyond that. Of course, there was some discussion last week. Could we talk about denuclearization? North Korea said no. So they are in control at this point, and it is decreasing tension, so it's a good thing, but it's a steady simmer, right? So it's decreasing tension during the Olympics, but that water's still hot, the temperature's still there, and the problems remain. North Korea wants to continue to develop and demonstrate that they have this capability.
So why is it so important for South Korea to really push this issue of having North Korea involved in the Winter Olympics?
It's very important to them for a couple of reasons. One is face. Okay, you put millions of dollars to host the Olympic Games. They want to demonstrate that it has very widespread participation. Also, there's a security issue. If North Korea is participating, they're not going to be testing. They're not going to be raising tensions, and the terrorism and the nuclear threat is going to be decreased. The last time that South Korea hosted the Olympic Games in 1988, North Korea boycotted. Now, they have since participated in Asian games and regional games that the South hosted, but this is just a very important issue for South Korea and for all of us. It's a good thing that it decreases tensions, but we have to recognize it's decreasing these tensions on a temporary basis.
Something interesting that I had read yesterday is that some believe North Korea is actually trying to create a wedge between the U.S. and South Korea because we have been actually on good terms with South Korea. Is that something that we need to worry about at this point?
I think it's definitely something that North Korea might be trying to accomplish. I don't think they're going to be successful in this regard. The United States has stated that supported these bilateral discussions. We're in support of anything that decreases the tensions, and we are extremely close allies with South Korea. So I don't put it past North Korea for trying to do this, but I don't think we need to view bilateral talks between South Korea and North Korea as excluding the United States or trying to draw a wedge, because our alliance with South Korea is so firm.
Okay, quickly, lastly, because this is actually incredibly important, Vancouver Summit.
Yes.
This is being co-hosted by the U.S. and Canada. This is to be talking about the UN sanctions against North Korea at this point. What could come out of this?
Well, it's going to be very limited. Only approximately 20 countries are participating. It's a ministerial meeting taking place today only. Very importantly, China and Russia were not invited to the meetings and will not be attending. So it's going to be hard to have anything widespread come out of the meeting because of that. But yes, we're going to try to present a united front saying that we agree on and we need to have very strict enforcement of the United Nations sanctions. There's going to be a discussion about maritime interdiction, trying to board ships while they are at sea. I don't think that's going to go very far because that's going to be seen as opposing and going beyond what the United Nations Security Council has already agreed to. So these are going to be important. Any discussions are important, but with the absence of China especially, I don't expect anything long-lasting to come from the meetings today.
Why the absence of China and Russia? I know she's giving me a rap in my ear, but I think that's a really incredibly important point to make.
It is important. Most people believe it's probably because China and Russia would bring up the joint military drills between the United States and South Korea, and we did want to have that discussion. It was hosted. The hosts are the ones who can invite who's going to be able to attend. Okay. China has condemned the meeting, by the way.
Oh, okay, interesting. Laura Luhrmann, thank you so much for coming in this morning. She's a Wright State political science professor. Thank you. Our time right now is 7:38.